Imagine a world where the line between science and magic blurs, where ancient scholars solve not just gold, but the secrets of the universe itself. Alchemy is an enthralling synthesis of chemistry, philosophy, and mysticism. Welcome to its enigmatic domain. We set out from ancient Egypt and make our way through medieval Europe in search of the fabled philosopher's stone, a magical artifact thought to possess the powers to transform lead into gold and bestow everlasting life. By examining the lives of the most mysterious people in history, we can learn how the symbols and practices of alchemy formed the basis of modern science. The Secrets of Ancient Alchemy, Turning Lead into Gold, invites you to explore the science, the myths, and the lasting impact of this age-old pursuit of metamorphosis. Mysticism and secrecy surround the practice of alchemy, which has captivated people for ages. More than just a proto-science, this old practice offered a comprehensive framework for making sense of the cosmos and one's own identity. It is often cited as the ancestor of modern chemistry. Here in our documentary, The Secrets of Ancient Alchemy, Turning Lead into Gold, we set out to investigate this mysterious specialty. In their pursuit of immortality and perfect health, alchemists sought to accomplish two fabled feats. First, the transformation of common metals into precious ones, especially lead into gold. And second, the discovery of the philosopher's stone. Countless people, from ancient Egyptians to medieval Europeans, were captivated by these promises and devoted their lives to alchemical endeavors. The first stop on our tour is a cultural survey of alchemy's origins and development. To better comprehend the alchemist's aims and techniques, we explore the esoteric knowledge and symbolic language that characterized alchemical practices. Immerse yourself in the world of these pioneers of self-improvement through breathtaking images of old manuscripts, drawings, and labs. The introduction also discusses the philosophical and cultural frameworks that alchemy emerged from, drawing attention to the ways in which it impacted both scientific and mystical traditions. Come and explore the fascinating lives of alchemists who trusted in the magic of alchemical transformation and see how their work has influenced generations of people. Prior knowledge. There are many different ancient civilizations represented in the history of alchemy. The art of Khem, associated with the rich black soil of the Nile Delta, is where the practice first emerged in ancient Egypt. The Egyptians who practiced alchemy thought their skill was a divinely bestowed trait. Achieving spiritual enlightenment and substance transformation were their primary goals. The alchemical traditions of the Greco-Roman world were shaped by this knowledge that was passed down through generations. A renaissance occurred in alchemy as it became popular in Islamic countries. Islamic scholars like Jabir ibn Hayyan, better known as Geber in Western circles, greatly advanced our understanding of alchemy. Their focus on direct observation and experimentation led to the development of novel methods and theoretical frameworks. A more methodical and scientific approach to alchemy emerged during this time as the traditions of Greece, Egypt, and Persia were brought together. These Islamic contributions were blended with local mystic traditions during the Middle Ages in Europe. Paracelsus and Roger Bacon, two prominent European alchemists, rose to prominence. They were on a quest to find the keys to eternal youth and health, in addition to the ability to change metals. In particular, Paracelsus laid the framework for modern pharmacology by stressing the medicinal uses of alchemy. The Western branch of alchemy owes much to the dissemination of alchemical literature and concepts brought about by the Latinization of Arabic works. Throughout its long and winding history, alchemy has been about much more than making money. It was an intellectual and spiritual quest for the ultimate perfection of body and spirit. With this background in mind, we can better grasp the significance of alchemy in the evolution of science and its lasting influence on our pursuit of understanding and change. The Stone of the Philosopher. Representing the pinnacle of alchemy's pursuit, the Philosopher's Stone is one of the discipline's most recognizable symbols. According to urban legend, this magical substance could turn any metal into gold and make its possessor immortal. As a flawless substance capable of achieving material and spiritual perfection, The stone stood as a symbol of the highest level of alchemical accomplishment. Allegorical and cryptic descriptions abound, with the object representing the alchemist's personal path to enlightenment, as well as the metamorphosis of matter. Recipes and descriptions for creating the philosopher's stone abound in alchemical texts, although they are frequently obscured by symbolic language. Stages like nigredo, blackening, albedo, whitening, citrinitas, yellowing, and rubedo, reddening, were an integral part of the magnum opus, also called the Great Work. The alchemist's belief that the purification of materials was similar to the purification of the soul led him through these stages, which corresponded to his inner transformation. Seeking the philosopher's stone enthralled historical personalities such as Isaac Newton and Nicholas Flamel. Legend has it that Flamel, a scribe from the 14th century, created the stone, though there is little evidence to support this claim. Even though he is best known for his scientific discoveries, the famed scientist Isaac Newton spent a considerable amount of time throughout his life seeking out alchemical information. Additionally, the philosopher's stone was the source of innumerable literary works, folktales, and myths that spread throughout popular culture. The stone has captivated readers of all ages, from those engrossed in medieval manuscripts to those engrossed in contemporary works of fiction such as J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. One way to understand the alchemical perspective is to look into the stories and theories around the philosopher's stone. It draws attention to the fact that alchemy was defined by the interaction of material and spiritual pursuits. Whether interpreted as a physical object or a metaphor for enlightenment, the philosopher's stone is a potent emblem of metamorphosis and the search for perfection and total understanding. Methods and symbols in alchemy. A wide range of experimental techniques and a rich symbolic language were integral to alchemical practice. The alchemists built a complicated and mysterious system of representation by encoding their processes and discoveries with symbols. Not only were symbols like the Hermetic seal, the philosopher's egg, and the Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail, ornamental, but they also contained philosophical and practical wisdom regarding the essence of change and the interdependence of all things. The methods used by alchemists were an ancestor of contemporary chemical procedures. An essential alchemical process was distillation, which involved heating and condensing vapors to remove impurities. In calcination, impurities were driven out by heating the substance to high temperatures. In sublimation, solids were converted directly into gases and then back into solids, a process that purified the material. The systematic experimentation that defines modern chemistry has its origins in these practices, which were based on mystical beliefs. Also, alchemists held to the principle of correspondence, which states that the small-scale microcosm and the large-scale macrocosm are reflections of each other. A good example of this is the saying, "As above, so below." They saw the process of changing substances in the lab as a metaphor for the metamorphosis they were experiencing on a personal and cosmic level, and they approached their experiments with a dualistic perspective. To keep their secrets hidden from those without the necessary training, alchemists painstakingly documented their symbolic language and methods in manuscripts, frequently using coded language. Alchemists relied on texts like the Emerald Tablet, which was said to have been written by Hermes Trismegistus, which contained aphorisms. Compendiums of alchemical knowledge abound, including works such as the Rosarium Philosophorum and the Theatrum Chemicum. You can get a glimpse into the alchemist's thoughts by decoding these symbols and learning the alchemical procedures. It shows that they think spirituality and science can work hand in hand, and that they believe in the power of both to bring about positive change. The exacting and frequently esoteric work of the alchemists, whose legacy is preserved in the principles and procedures of contemporary chemistry, can be better understood by delving into these methods and symbols. The truth about the myth, the science. A potent symbol of alchemy for a long time has been the dream of turning lead into gold. Although this metamorphosis was beyond the scope of classical alchemical practice, The fascinating new avenues opened up by nuclear physics provide exciting prospects for the future. Although ancient alchemists' ideal conditions for elemental transmutation were vastly different, this section nevertheless delves into the scientific principles that allow it to happen. The study of nuclear reactions and their potential to transform one element into another is central to the field of nuclear physics. Scientists can change the atomic structure of atoms and turn them into different elements by hammering high-energy particles into their nuclei. In the early 1900s, physicist Ernest Rutherford was the first to demonstrate this process, which is called nuclear transmutation. Nevertheless, due to its high energy requirements and intricate nature, this process is not economically viable for producing gold from lead in a practical setting. Transmutation is theoretically possible with state-of-the-art particle accelerators like CERNs, but the associated costs are much higher than the gold's worth. This exemplifies how far modern science has come in contrast to the mystical goals of the alchemists. Still, the crossing of old beliefs with modern scientific knowledge around the idea of transmutation is intriguing. The gap between the myth and the science can be filled with interviews with nuclear chemists and physicists. From alchemy to the present day, they trace the development of our knowledge of atomic structure and nuclear reactions. As further evidence that alchemical concepts continue to motivate contemporary scientific investigation, these authorities also address the wider ramifications of transmutation, including its possible uses in healthcare and business. We may learn more about both modern scientific methods and ancient alchemy by comparing their aims and techniques. Despite its mystic and mythological origins, the alchemists' pursuit of transformation opened the door to scientific inquiry. Their efforts serve as a poignant reminder of the universal quest for knowledge that underpins scientific advancements even in the modern day. The legacy of alchemy has left an indelible mark on history, impacting not just the advancement of modern science, but also many other areas of study and popular culture. Chemistry and medicine owe a great debt to the alchemists, whose work on the early scientific method was foundational. They contributed much to our understanding of the world by their careful observations, innovative experiments, and comprehensive view of matter and life. When alchemists like Paracelsus pushed for the use of minerals and chemicals in medicine, they essentially changed the game. Traditional herbal remedies were challenged by Paracelsus' approach to medicine, which focused on dosage and inorganic substances. He proved that alchemical practices led to major medical breakthroughs through his work, which established the groundwork for contemporary toxicology and pharmacology. Carl Jung's work is one example of how alchemy impacted the field of psychology. According to Jung, alchemy is a metaphor for the path to individuation, or finding one's true identity. He connected the ancient practice of alchemy to contemporary theories of the unconscious mind by seeing its symbols and processes as metaphors for psychological transformation. Many literary, artistic, and philosophical works bear the imprint of alchemy on a cultural level. Its allegorical stories and abundance of symbolism have served as inspiration for innumerable literary and artistic creations. Alchemy is a potent wellspring of creative energy because its resonant themes, transformation, perfection-seeking, and the union of opposites, resonate profoundly with the human condition. Modern thinking is influenced by alchemy's holistic and integrative approach, which viewed the material and spiritual realms as interdependent. An invaluable viewpoint in this age of specialization is the alchemical one that seeks a one and complete knowledge of nature and oneself. It serves as a reminder of how everything is interrelated and promotes interdisciplinary problem-solving and knowledge-seeking. The lasting influence of alchemy on contemporary science and culture can be better understood by looking at its historical legacy. One way to look at the evolution of human knowledge and the never-ending search for transformation and comprehension is through the prism of alchemy, which combines scientific study with mystical insight. As our exploration of alchemy comes to a close, we can observe how this age-old practice had an impact on art, psychology, and modern science and medicine. The eternal human longing to understand the cosmos is echoed in the alchemists' pursuit of material and spiritual transformation. The art of alchemy continues to be practiced today, and it continues to motivate people to look at the world in awe and wonder, and to seek out new information and understanding.